Today I'm talking about how to reduce your grocery bill and how to start cutting costs in ways that will see you saving more money every week on what you spend on food. So in general, when we're trying to save money as families, groceries is the first place to start. I know that is the hardest way to start reducing costs because your family needs to eat. But groceries is the way that you can save a lot of money if you start getting savvy and careful about what you're spending your money on. So in New Zealand, when I looked up the statistics, there's the levels of people that spend money on a basic grocery budget, then there's a moderate grocery budget, and then there's a very liberal grocery budget. And the difference between someone who spends in excess on their groceries, someone who has a basic grocery budget is $138 in New Zealand. So that is a savings of over $7,000 a year if you can start cutting back to a basic grocery budget. I'm not saying buy cheap, nasty food. It just means that you have to stop buying willy-nilly. There are rules around this, there are guidelines that you can follow that will help you to decrease your budget significantly and help you to stay on track with your expenses. Number one, I want you to create a meal plan, and I want you to start with what you've already got in your cupboard. Irrelevant of the fact that you think you've got nothing, look and see in your freezer and your fridge, what have you already got? Do you have a whole chicken in there that has been sitting there for a while? Maybe you've got some leftover mince mix that needs using up. Maybe you've got a fridge that has a vegetable compartment that's full. Maybe there is items in there that need to be used up and you're just ignoring them because you're not quite sure what to do with them. I say put them down on your list, create an itinerary of what you've got in your cupboards already, and see if you can create some meals from that just as a starter. Even if you can find one meal in there that will do you for the first night, it'll save you money straight out the gate. You might have ideas on some breakfasts that you can have. Maybe you've got rolled oats, maybe you have porridge mixes that are needing to get used up, maybe you've got a half box of cereal that needs to get thrown out. That's a good thing to find. Maybe you have eggs, a dozen eggs. You know that you've got eggs there for a meal or for a few children to have eggs on toast throughout the week for breakfast. Include these in the meal plan that you're going to put together. You create a meal plan not necessarily off what you... So if you've got some ideas from the items that are already in your pantry, and if you thought, if I'm really stuck, I could possibly use this, from here, you're going to create a meal plan. You're going to include breakfast, lunch, and dinner, using some of the things that are already in your pantry for the first day. And then you're going to start adding in for the rest of the week the things that you know you cook, you know your family enjoy, and you're going to plan out for every single meal, for every single person, what you're going to eat specifically. Make sure you've got a list all detailed out for that week. The third thing you're going to do, you're going to know exactly which shops you want to go to. Sometimes it's easiest just to go to one shop one time. You might go to the cheapest one and you get everything there. But I have learned to shop around. I've learned to shop around online. There are certain sales at certain places. Sometimes it's irrelevant. Things are just a stock standard price everywhere. In New Zealand especially, sometimes there's not much you can do. But have a look online, see if you can see which places you'd go to, and create a list for each place based on your grocery list. Make sure you're connected online to your food outlet stores. Often they have notifications when things are on sale. Maybe they notify you on an online brochure of things that they have that are cheap this week. They often have a Facebook page that they notify people on. So just have a quick look at those and make sure you're not missing out on some really good deals for that week. Fourth tip is don't go when you're hungry. Make sure you have it planned for directly after breakfast or directly after lunch. Don't go before dinner. Do not go before lunch. Make sure you've eaten, have a full tummy. You will always buy extra items that you don't need. You will always buy things that you feel like at the time. They're just unnecessary expenses. You can waste $20 on buying the pizza bread or the extras that you think the kids will like for afternoon tea. Just don't go hungry. Just eat first. So my second to last tip is for you to stick to your plan. A lot of plans can go out the window when we get tired or bored of what we're going to cook, and I encourage you to stick to it. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's very tempting to start thinking, I'm going to fudge this, I'm just going to go to the shops and buy something super simple I can't be bothered eating out of the cupboards. I can't be bothered sticking to what I've got here. No one's enjoying this. You're going to have to change it next week if that's what you're finding, but for now, stick to the plan. Your budget will be so much healthier for it. When you're wanting to save money, or simply you don't have the extra money, you will find something in your cupboard. You can't go to the shops. You've decided you won't, and you're going to make do with what's there. So just keep going with it. You can tweak it next week. You can make some other changes, but your family will be fine if you just stick to the plan you've created. So my last tip is to use it all up before you buy more. We waste a lot of food. So a way to save on your budget with groceries is to have zero waste. Keep doing what you did at the beginning of this process, which is look at what you've got and make something from it. I make it in my menu plan on the last night that I'm going to use what's left. It's not necessarily leftovers, often it is. I've got a meal left over of curry in the freezer, or there's some leftover lasagna from a few nights before. I incorporate that, but I also use up the leftovers. There might be some rice that's left over, and I can add some vegetables and an egg and make some fried rice. I use what's left, and that's incorporated into my meal plan. We can throw a lot of money out in the rubbish or into the compost each week, and it's a really good way of actually getting to the end of the week and you can clean out your fridge. It's a way of emptying the pantry and making sure that you have not wasted food. So I just know that I'm going to use up all the perishables before I buy more. If I've got leftover carrots, zucchini, onion, celery, I can make a stock out of it. I do something with it so there's no waste. I'm hoping that this has been of help to you. I'm hoping that it's motivating you to start thinking about how you can save money with your grocery bill. If you would like some more ways to save money in your pantry, then look at the other videos linked below. And if you would like to see more of my videos, please subscribe below, hit the like button. That's probably the best compliment you can give me. But until next time, bye for now.